All right. Again, welcome to the webinar, Building Your Personal Brand, Becoming an Influencer, a step-by-step guide. Again, my name is Amber Wheeler, and we're going to go ahead and get this going now. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you and get this presentation going. Let me get to the right screen here. Share my screen. Share this one. All right. So let's do this, huh? All right. So building your personal brand and becoming an influencer, a step-by-step guide. I'm guessing by now you probably know what a brand is, but do you know what a personal brand is? And even more importantly, do you know how to build one? If you answered no to either one of those questions, then this workshop is definitely for you. Now more than ever, you need a personal brand. If you want to stand out from the competition, attract new clients, and build a thriving business, you need to create a powerful and thriving personal brand. If you're an entrepreneur, you need to be devoting at least some time every week to strengthening your brand. And we'll explain why more in detail in a bit. But for now, you just need to know that your personal brand is one of your biggest assets. Your personal brand can take your business to places you never thought possible, but you have to know how to build one. Unfortunately, most business owners don't know how to build a personal brand. They feel fuzzy on exactly what steps to take and what's involved in creating a brand around themselves. So what is a personal brand? First things first, let's ensure we're all on the same page of what a personal brand actually is. A personal brand is much more than a flashy logo or a color palette. A personal brand goes far beyond having a nice looking business card. A personal brand is not just about having a website with your name on it, although that's certainly part of it. A personal brand is much bigger and all-encompassing. It's about who you are and what you do. Your personal brand is how you present yourself, both online and offline, to your ideal audience. Your personal brand is the image you put forth to people, and it's what you stand for. Your values, what you're all about, the core of who you are as a person. Your personal brand is your secret sauce, the thing that sets you apart from everyone else, and it's what makes you unique. Your personal brand is your values, unique skills, experiences, stories, personality, and image. Thanks to the internet and the power of social media, every person can be their own brand. Everyone can constantly put themselves out in front of their audience. Everyone can add value to their audience, and everyone can communicate their message loud and clear. We all have the tools to build powerful personal brands. In fact, you might say that every person is now a brand. The crucial question is whether you are actively taking control of your brand. It's always better when you're in control of the process. You're going to have a personal brand whether you want to or not. Everything you share online, every email you send to your audience, every blog post you write, every live event that you host, they are all part of your brand. They all shape the way people think about you and the image you put forth. The question is whether you want your brand to develop on its own with no guidance from you, or whether you want to be actively in control of the process. So how do you actively build an effective personal brand? How do you get in control of the process? How do you ensure that your brand is helping to build your business? That's what the rest of this workshop is all about. But at this point, you might be thinking, why do I need to build a personal brand? Here's the reality. Every entrepreneur, coach, consultant, or freelancer should be building their own brand. It doesn't matter if you're not a big name or a Fortune 500 company. If you're trying to build a business of any sort, you need to be building your own personal brand. You don't need to be a large company or a Hollywood celebrity in order to benefit from building a personal brand. So let's talk about some of the benefits of building a personal brand. Number one, Personal branding allows you to stand out from the competition. First and foremost, building a personal brand enables you to uniquely stand out from the competition. Your brand, values, expertise, and story all set you apart from your competitors. Your competitors can't bring what you bring to the table. They simply don't have what you have to offer. You're unique. Only you are. You have unique experiences, strengths, beliefs, perspectives, skills, insights, and those set you apart from everyone else. These are incredibly valuable and distinguish you from your competitors. You offer unique value that no other person can offer. No one else can bring to the table what you can. No one else has your unique combination of skills, insights, and experiences. Building your personal brand allows you to highlight your uniqueness. It allows you to capitalize on your strengths. It allows you to highlight the best parts of you. And as you work to highlight your strengths, it distinguishes you from all of your competitors. It gives you a distinct competitive advantage. So think about Rolex and how they've set themselves apart from the competition. Because they've focused on being exclusively a luxury watch brand, they have set themselves apart from other watch companies like Timex. Rolex is the brand for those who want a luxury watch, while Timex is the brand for those who want a sturdy, relatively inexpensive watch. By working relentlessly to build their brand, Rolex has distinguished themselves from every other watch company. The more you work to build your personal brand, the greater the edge you'll have over your competition. You'll stand out amidst the crowd. So number 2, personal branding allows you to charge a person. I can read, I swear, I have all these great notes. Personal branding allows you to charge a premium price. Because you bring unique value to the table, value that no one else offers, you can charge a premium price for your services. After all, you're offering something that can't be found anywhere else. Your services are only offered by you. So when you craft a strong personal brand, you can charge a higher price for your products and services because they're exclusive to you. They can't be purchased at another store or from another person. The stronger your brand, the more people want your services. The more people want your services, the higher price you can charge. This is exactly why Nike is able to charge so much for their shoes. They've spent years building their brand into a powerhouse. Nike shoes have become a status symbol, and wearing Nikes says something about who you are. This allows Nike to charge exorbitant amounts of money for their shoes. The Nike brand automatically equals higher prices for shoes. By working hard to build your personal brand and to show how much value you bring to the table, you too can charge a premium price. Number 3, personal branding highlights your expertise. Remember, your personal brand is how you present yourself to the world. This means that a significant amount of personal branding involves the content that you share with the world. The more valuable the content you share, the more you demonstrate that you're an expert who should be trusted. With every piece of content that you share, social media posts, blog posts, emails, videos, inspirational graphics, meditations, podcasts, you are establishing yourself as an expert in your field. As someone who really knows what they're talking about, as a thought leader in your arena, you are demonstrating your knowledge and insight into the watching world. You're providing just how much value you're proving, not just providing, you're proving just how much value you offer and that you are the go-to person in your industry. And the more you demonstrate your expertise, the more your audience will trust you and come to you to solve their problems. The more value you share, the more it shows people that you know exactly what you're talking about and should be looked at as an expert. The more you demonstrate your expertise, the more your audience will trust you and come to you to solve their problems. The more value you share, the more it shows people that you know exactly what you're talking about and should be looked at as an expert. Number 4, personal branding allows you to attract your ideal audience. When you're known as the expert in your industry, it attracts your ideal audience, the people who need your help the most. You get more referrals from others in your industry and related industries. You can charge a premium price, the kind of price that only an expert can charge. Tony Robbins is a prime example of this. For years, he has been sharing the same message of self-empowerment. Everything he says, every video he puts out, every book he writes has the same brand message. You can develop into a powerful individual, and I can help you do that. Over time, he's established himself as the go-to person in the self-development arena. The results? He attracts a huge audience of people who want to fulfill their potential. Millions of people read his books and follow him on social media. He can charge a premium price for his services. Do you want to experience the Tony Robbins effect? If you want to be known as the go-to person in your industry, then it's absolutely essential that you begin building your personal brand as soon as possible. Number 5, personal branding puts you in charge of the narrative. As we noted earlier, your personal brand will evolve, whether you want it to or not. If you use social media, if you have an email list, have a blog, speak to groups, or record and share videos, then you are already building your personal brand. Everything you put out into the world is part of your personal brand. The question is whether you're intentionally shaping the narrative of your brand. In other words, are you carefully determining exactly what your brand is all about, or are you letting it happen in an improvised manner? Are you thoughtfully curating your brand, or are you letting your brand evolve on its own? Are you the one crafting people's opinions about you, or are you sort of just letting things happen? The beauty of intentional personal branding is that it ensures that you're actively shaping your own narrative. You're determining what people think about you rather than simply letting people form their own opinions. With every social post you share, every blog post you put up, every email you send, you're shaping the narrative of who you are. You are in control of the story. Number 6, personal branding increases your visibility. The more you build your personal brand, the more visible you'll become. You'll attract more fans on social media, and those fans will share their content or your content with their tribe, and the more your content gets shared, the more fans you'll attract. As your fan base grows, you can expect to be featured in the media. Media outlets are always looking for experts to comment on particular subjects, and when you become known as the expert in your field, you'll start generating media requests. And the more you're featured in the media outlets, the more opportunities you'll have to speak in front of crowds. Conference organizers are always looking for well-known media personalities to speak. The truth is, building your personal brand and building your platform go hand in hand. As your personal brand grows stronger, your platform will get bigger, which will then make your brand stronger. Building your brand is a virtuous cycle that brings greater and greater results the more that you do it. Number 7. Personal branding shapes what content you share. If you don't have a strong personal brand, then you don't have any guidelines as to what content you should share with your audience. And so you end up sharing either nothing at all or whatever catches your fancy at any given moment. Neither of these strategies contribute to your personal brand. When you have a strong personal brand, it guides you towards exactly what kinds of content you should share. And I totally just flipped too far forward. Simply put, you should only share content that aligns and promotes with the values of your personal brand. A meme might be funny, but if it doesn't add to your personal brand, you probably shouldn't share it. Number 8, personal branding connects you more with individuals. People connect better with other people than they do with other companies. It's why Elon Musk and Richard Branson have more individual Twitter followers than the companies that they founded. The more you work to build your personal brand, the more individuals will want to connect with you, both in person and online. People will be attracted to your values, personality, your convictions, and the insights that you have to offer. The more connected you are, the more business opportunities will present themselves to you. More speaking requests, more media opportunities, the opportunity to partner with other like-minded people. Building your personal brand connects you personally with potential customers and clients, which then builds your business. Number 9, personal branding allows you to become an influencer. An influencer is someone who significantly shapes the opinions of their followers and has a big influence on how they behave. There are some significant benefits to being an influencer. Big brands will want to work with you. They want to work with influencers that have a large audience, which can result in more revenue for you. You often receive free things from companies who are interested in partnering with you. You receive media requests to speak at or even just attend events. Are you starting to see the power of your personal brand? Your personal brand enables you to distinguish yourself from the competition. It allows you to charge a premium price for your services. The more you focus on your personal brand, the more visible you become, and the more you become known as the expert in your field. The more you're known as an expert, the more opportunities come your way. And the more you build your personal brand, the more you connect with others, which in turn builds your business even more. So there are a few things more powerful than your personal brand. The more you focus on building it, the greater results you'll see. So now, are you ready to start building your personal brand? Well, let's talk about how to build a personal brand. Now that you know why you should build a personal brand, let's talk about how to actually do it. Let's break down the individual strategies you can use to build your own incredibly powerful personal brand. Step number 1 is determine who you really are. Remember that building your personal brand is about sharing your authentic self with the world. Your personal brand is built upon your skills, passions, values, and beliefs. You must know yourself if you want to build a strong personal brand. So ask yourself, what unique skills do I have? What are my core values? What am I most passionate about? What unique experiences have shaped who I am? How can I most effectively serve my core audience? What do I have to offer that no one else does? The answers to these questions should shape your personal brand. They should help you get to the core of what matters most to you and how you can add value to your audience. Step number 2 is determine what you want to accomplish. Once you've identified the core of who you are, it's time to think about what you want to accomplish with your personal brand. So, answer these questions. What would I like to accomplish, both personally and professionally? What do I want to be known for? If I could be the world's foremost expert on a topic, what would it be? What key message do I want to communicate? If I could only give one piece of advice, what would it be? The answers to these questions should further solidify in your mind what your personal brand will look like. Step number 3, identify your target audience. The simple reality is you can't effectively serve everyone. Rather, there's a core demographic of people who will resonate deeply with you, your brand, and what you offer. This core demographic is your target audience. It's these people whom you will serve most effectively and who will be your ideal client. So to identify your core audience, ask yourself these questions. Who can I most effectively help? Who will benefit most from my skill set and my knowledge? Who am I most passionate about serving? Who will resonate most with me and my brand? When determining your core audience, it can be helpful to create a persona. This persona represents your ideal client. Include this following information in the persona. This is a really good exercise to help you figure out exactly who your target audience is, because marketing to these people is easier when you have this persona or avatar created. So start with the demographics. How old are they? Are they male, female, single, married? What's their level of education? What career are they in? How much do they make? Hopes and dreams? What do they want their future to look like? What are their goals? And then the challenges of this persona. What obstacles do they face? Why haven't they been able to reach their goals? And so then step 4 is determining your unique selling proposition, or the USP. Your USP is simply your brand summed up into a single, powerful, compelling statement that describes exactly what you do for your audience. It's where you take all the answers from the previous 3 points and put them together into one brand statement that sums up who you are personally and how you serve your core audience. Your USP typically looks something like this. I help target person to achieve X so that they can outcome. For example, your USP may be something like, I help working moms stay on top of everything and live a fulfilled life. Or I help entrepreneurs scale their business over 6 figures per year so they can live a life of freedom. Or I help men be incredibly productive so that they can have more time to spend with their friends and families. Your USP doesn't have to say everything about your brand, but it should get right to the heart of who you are and how you help your audience. It may help to give your USP a unique name that will stick in people's mind. For example, if you teach men how to be more productive, you could call your USP the Power Productivity Formula. Or if you help entrepreneurs scale their businesses, you could call your USP something like Scale Without Fail. It simply needs to be short, memorable, and aptly describe what you do. So don't skimp on this step. Creating your USP gives you a high degree of clarity about what your brand is all about. And there is a worksheet for this that I have included. You can find it in the files if you're attending the webinar through the webinar system. I will share a link in the comments for those of you who are watching on Facebook. And I will make sure that if you want access to this worksheet, all you got to do is click on the link, or you can email me, hello@amberwheeler.com. So let's talk about step 5 now, which is start treating yourself as a brand. Once you've identified the core of your brand, as well as your target audience, it's time to start treating yourself as a brand. So what does this look like? In every communication with your audience, whether it be a blog post, email, podcast, or social media post, you need to stay true to your brand message. You consistently should speak about the problems you solve. Consistently encourage your audience. Consistently voice the message of your brand. Just like Nike wouldn't suddenly start talking about camping, you must not go off-brand with your communications. You constantly should reinforce your unique selling proposition in everything that you do. It also means creating a strong, compelling website to serve as your home base for all of your online activities. It means creating a media page or media kit on your site for media inquiries. And it could be not answering emails yourself, but having an assistant answer them or answering them under a pseudonym. Your goal is to portray yourself as a strong, compelling brand, not just a normal person. You have to treat yourself like you truly are, a powerful brand that has a powerful message. So step number 6, you need to optimize your website. Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty of optimizing your online presence so that it matches your brand. Your website is one of the primary places people get to know who you are and what you do. Your website also functions as one of the primary ways you turn visitors into paying clients, and it must be optimized for that. First impressions are really important when it comes to your website. Visitors should be able to immediately determine how you can help solve their problems. If they can't, there's a good chance they'll leave. So, how do you optimize your site to reflect your brand? Well, start with having a professional logo designed. Having a professional logo shows that you're serious about what you do and really do treat yourself as a brand. If you wish to hire someone to design a logo for you, please feel free to reach out at the end of the webinar, as I do have a strong background in graphic design. You also need to show off your unique selling proposition. From the moment they arrive on your website, visitors should see your USP. It will draw them into your site and make them want to investigate more. Ideally, your USP will be up front and center at the top of your website, so it's one of, if not the first thing that people see. It should be impossible to miss. It should function like the main headline of a newspaper. The eye should be drawn to it immediately. You should also use professional photographs. Have a professional photographer take high-quality photos of you. Low-quality photos will ultimately reflect poorly on your brand. Use testimonials. Testimonials are proof that you really can solve people's problems. They help overcome hesitance and objections. Also, if you've been featured in any media outlets, show off those credentials too. Present a clear call to action. Ultimately, you want people to take action when they're on your website. You want them to join your email list, watch your webinar, or sign up for a free consultation. Give visitors a clear call to action. Create a compelling about page. Tell your story. How did you get to where you currently are? What motivates you to serve your audience? Why do you do what you do? And then create a services page. If you want clients to hire you, you need to have a clear services page in which you explain what you offer, what's included, and more. And give away a free resource. One of the best ways to build your brand is to give away free content on your website. This could be anything from blog posts to videos to an ebook. Giving away content in exchange for a visitor's email address is also a fantastic way to grow your email list. And then create a contact page. Obviously, you want a way for people to get in touch with you. This will happen primarily through your contact page on your website. Step number 7, develop your content strategy. The primary way to build your brand is by creating strategic content. And by content, we mean blog posts, videos, social media posts, emails, affirmations, podcasts, and more. Every piece of content you share with your audience should serve to build your brand. As we mentioned before, once you've determined your brand, it's important to start treating yourself as a brand. Developing a strategic content strategy is one of the most effective ways to ensure that you're constantly staying on brand. One effective strategy is called the pillar method, and it works something like this. At set intervals, every day, every week, every month, however, create a longer piece of pillar content. This could be a blog post, a video, an ebook, or another item that works well. The point is that it needs to be on the longer side so it can be repurposed in numerous ways. This pillar content should always reinforce some part of your brand. Maybe one day you speak to a particular pain point. Maybe another day you encourage your audience to strive for their goals. Whatever the case, it's essential that your pillar content always be tied back to your brand. Publish your pillar content on your primary platform, whether that's your blog, YouTube, iTunes, another outlet, whatever. Take your pillar content and cut it up into smaller, shareable pieces of content. For example, if you have a 10-minute video, find 3 parts of that video that can be shared on their own and extract the clips. If you have a 1,000-word blog post, extract 5 100-word excerpts that can stand on their own. Once you've created your smaller pieces of content, post those across your channels, including Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, email, etc. If the thought of posting to so many social media channels intimidates you, there are some great tools out there to help. You can use a program such as Buffer or Sprout Social that allows you to share all your social media content at one time. You just put the content in and then select all the channels you want to go out to. Please feel free to reach out to me after the webinar if you want to discuss an effective social media strategy. So then you repeat this process again and again. Consistency is the key. By consistently sharing your brand message, you'll steadily build your audience. And by using the pillar method for your content strategy, you ensure that every piece of content you post is always on brand. Your Facebook posts, Instagram posts, blog posts, YouTube videos, and the emails are always speaking your brand message to your audience. In addition to using the pillar method, you can also simply repurpose content in different formats. For example, you can turn an ebook into a SlideShare presentation, or turn a series of blog posts into an ebook, or you can turn a blog post into an email that you send out to your list. The main point is that everything you send out should be brand related. You want to constantly reinforce your brand to your audience. And so step number 8, constantly add value to your audience. When it comes to building your brand, it's essential that you constantly be giving value to your audience without asking for anything in return. Yes, there will be times when you invite people to buy from you or become a client, but you don't want that to be the main theme of your brand. The main thing people should take away when interacting with your brand is how much value you provide. The main way you're going to be providing value is through your content strategy. This is why it's so important to constantly put out new content. If you're not putting out new content, you're not giving away value. Step number 9, build a community. One of the best ways to build your brand is to build a community where you and the members can all help each other. The value in building a community around your brand is that it gets others involved in helping to promote your brand. You create a tribe of passionate people who care about the same things you do. So how can you build a community? Some simple ways to build a community include starting a private Facebook group. In this group, people can interact with each other, share ideas, interact with you, raise questions, and more. This gives you the opportunity to have meaningful conversations with your tribe on a daily basis. You can host live events. Live events allow you to meet members of your tribe in person. Coffee meetups, retreats, workshops, masterminds, and private dinners are all great ways to deepen your relationships with them. During this current environment, there are things that can be done over platforms like Facebook Messenger, video chats, FaceTime, or Zoom. You can actually do events like you might normally do in person, but do them over Facebook or Facebook Messenger or video chats, FaceTime. You can create a membership site. For a small monthly fee, you can give people exclusive access to you and the content you provide. You can also give them access to things like group calls every month, ongoing webinars, and a forum where they can interact with you and other members. Now is the time to build your brand. The simple truth is you have a personal brand, whether you want to or not. Every single thing you share with your audience either adds to or takes away from your personal brand. You absolutely must be intentional about building your brand. As Kathy Klotz-Guest says, we all have a personal brand, whether we think about it that way or not. So let's be intentional about it. So here's a quick summary of how to build your brand, like we just talked about. Number 1, identify what matters to you. Number 2, define your core audience. Number 3, determine your unique selling proposition. Number 4, treat yourself like a brand. Number 5, create a compelling website. Number 6, plan your content strategy. Number 7, constantly bring your best self to your audience. And number 8, build your community. The more you do these things, the more you'll build your brand and the more you'll attract an audience of raving fans. Avoid waiting any longer to build your personal brand. You should get started today. Your audience needs you. Get out there, start serving them. You'll be really glad you did. Now, I want to invite you to book a free consultation with me. There's absolutely zero obligation or risk with the phone call or Zoom or chat session, whatever works best for you. So here's what we'll do. We'll hop on the phone or Zoom or just chat over text together. We'll analyze your brand, talk about the strengths and weaknesses, and then come up with a winning strategy for creating your powerful brand. We'll work together to create a powerful personal brand for you, a brand that you can be proud of, a brand that attracts your ideal client again and again, and a brand that makes people say, I trust her because she's an expert. Like I said, absolutely free, zero obligation. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So to book the call, simply go to this link, amberwheeler.com/contact, and don't wait any longer to build your brand. Remember, your brand is already being built, whether you want it to or not. The question is whether you're in control of the process. So let's work together to ensure that you're totally in control of your brand building. And I look forward to you joining me. Thank you so much for watching today. If there are questions, I'm now happy to answer them. I'm also going to post a link at the top of the page for my private Facebook group dedicated to building your brand using social media if you'd like to join. So let's get you that. Let me get on the right screen here so I can share that with you. Hi, Casey. So if you have any questions, now is the time to ask. I've got my windows open and my comments rolling, and I am here to answer any questions for you. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and post that link about booking the free consultation. And I'm here if you have any questions about building brands, about websites, about using social media to grow your brand, anything like that. Casey, you're so welcome. I'm happy to share it. That's what I'm here for. If you have any questions, any at all, hopefully I explored a lot of it, but it's there. Okay, I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to change this call to action, and I'm going to post a link to my Facebook group, my Build Your Brand Using Social Media Facebook group, totally free to join. Great group of people. Your brand Facebook group. I created it there's some great lessons in there about, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the link down here too, if you want to add the group. I like it because it's a great group of people. I've got some lessons in there on how to make effective posts on social media. And I'm constantly adding units and lessons, and people are posting questions and cool things that they're doing that are working well for them. It's just a really great supportive group that we're working on building. So I've got it says book now. It shouldn't say book now. It should say join now. There we go. Let's try that again. All right. So there's that. And the link is also in the Facebook page where I'm streaming live. And all right. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and conclude today's webinar. I'm going to end it on one little thing here. I have a fun little thing. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me through the contact page on my page, amberwheeler.com. You can also just email me, hello@amberwheeler.com. Thank you guys so much again for attending today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. And hopefully you can use all this information to work on building your brand. Thank you for joining.